What is up, guys? Flossy Missiles here. In today's video, we're gonna be making a little slide away track for my ramps for the ramp truck. So basically how it's sitting right now is where I want it to sit. Sorry if the lighting's a little harsh, it's really bright right now. But yeah, it almost comes up to the tire. Probably have, I don't know, maybe 5-6 inches before it hits the tire, which is perfect. And yeah, basically I'm just gonna make it out of 2-inch angle iron. This is a 2-inch by 1/8 thickness, and there's 40 feet of it right there. It should be just enough to do both sides. I might be cutting it a little close. I might have to use some other random scrap that I have. I'm also gonna be shooting a hole in it right here and putting a hole in the angle iron so I can lock these things down with a little lock in case, you know, I'm parked somewhere sketchy. I don't want them to get stolen. I don't know if anyone would steal these, but I'm still gonna do it anyways. And it'll be a nice way to, you know, lock them into place so they can't slide out when you're driving. But yeah, let's get started. First, I'm gonna be cutting 2 pieces out to 87.5 inches. Okay, I'm also gonna cut 2 16-inch pieces of angle that I'm gonna go from right here all the way up to this bar. So let's cut those out as well. Okay, here's a 16-inch all cut out. I even notched the top so that when it goes, I'll show you guys, when it goes up against this piece, can you see that? Fits perfectly against it. Notched out 1.5 inches off the tops. And now I'm gonna go ahead and just weld it to the pieces while it's still off the truck and hopefully get a few other pieces tacked on. Okay, just with some scrap, I'm gonna go ahead and tack on a couple cross braces, maybe just one cross brace. Just make it a little more stiff so when I hold it up to the ramp truck, I can weld it on and it's not all wobbly. Discarded all the naughty nights for niceness, landed in a very common crisis. Everything's in order in a black hole. Nothing seems to pity in the past though. It's all C-clamped into place, and I got the jack under one side of it, and I'm making sure everything's as level as I can get it. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw some tacks on it right now, and we can get this rolling. Anyways, you remember these pieces right here that I cut off from, they were attached right there on the old frame. This came with the RV section of it. I'm gonna use this to, it's not gonna sit exactly like that, but it's gonna be upright and it's gonna attach from here to crosses this one to this beam right here. Should make the whole thing really strong, but first I gotta grind that down because it's super rusty and it's got a bunch of trash on it. Remember when the bars were all electric, and now when she told she's gonna get it, I'm guessing that she'd rather just forget it, clinging to not getting sentimental. Said she wasn't going but she went still, like a gentleman. So perfect. Those work so extremely well. I'm stoked with how it came out. I just gotta fully weld it all and brace it all and get it super tight, but it slid in perfect. It's held pretty tight in there. I'm also gonna make a way to secure it over here, but yeah, really happy with the results. So I went ahead and cut out 2 pieces, more of the angle. So yeah, I literally used 20 feet for just this one side, which is perfect because I got 40 feet of it. And I cut out these 2 to go right, actually I'll start like this, right here on both sides obviously. So I can go ahead and cut off that temporary bar right there and weld these on. I went ahead and I replicated what I did to the passenger side to the driver's side. So both the ramps slide out now and they're both super sick, but they're both just tacked into place as well. So I got to do full passes on both of these. But the issue I'm running into on this side is the fuel lines are just totally not in a good position. So yeah, let me look at this one. This one's all like jacked right now. So anyways, this one's gonna be not a big deal. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this line shorter and then run this one straight across to here with a little piece of rubber. And then I don't know if I can weld this. I think this is just galvanized steel. I'm not sure what this is exactly. But I'm gonna take this off, or take the fuel line out of it, I guess, and test and see if I can weld it on it. I think if that's the case, I'm gonna go ahead and put a 90 on it right here and shoot straight across down into here, and I think it'll honestly line up perfectly if I just chop it, put a 90 on it, and shoot it across. And it'd be out of my ramp's way for when I slide it in and out. This one also slides in and out really nice too. So both of them turned out great. Stoked on how these things work. Popped off these fuel lines, and of course this thing's full of fuel and it's spilt everywhere. But hopefully I don't die welding over here lighting this thing on fire. But so yeah, here's kind of the angle I want actually. See how it comes up over on top of the rails. And then I don't know if I cut this at an angle and cut that at an angle. Weld these two together. We'll be in business, but I don't know, I might take this thing all the way off to weld it instead of welding next to this tank and these gas, but you know, I might risk it. That's what I'm thinking. I think that'll work. I think it'll fit. I don't like welding galvanized because it's smoky and toxic, but gotta do what you gotta do. Just sounding it out, but you're not coming back again. So it fits in pretty good like this. It actually sits right above the slides for the ramps. But anyways, I decided I'm going to add on a little bit extra metal just to go from here to like here area, because I don't want this piece of rubber to rub against the track right there and wear out. So I have this extra piece of exhaust tubing that is the same size. I'm gonna go ahead and weld that on to here. Harsh lighting, sorry. And it's gonna be legit. Alright, check it out. Here's what the piece looks like sitting in there. I just gotta go ahead and cut that rubber line right there and mount it back on there, and then bolt that guy back on, but it should be all good to go. Okay, it's all wrapped up now. You can see I just sprayed some black on those few areas that got welded on to the one that rust right away. But let's go ahead and slide this ramp in and see how it fits with the gas lines. Perfect. So all that situation is taken care of. Went ahead and threw a piece of diamond plate up here. I think I am gonna go ahead and drive my Miata, or probably the bus and the Miata up here later on, just to see where I want to mount all these guys right here on my D-rings. So I'm gonna throw the diamond plate up here temporarily, just to, you know, just to see where things lay out and where would be like the optimal place for those. But for right now, I gotta notch out this piece of diamond plate, the first piece, because the headboard has that like 1.5 by 3-inch piece right there. So cut that out, mark it with some soapstone, then I'm gonna mark with that. Got the grinders and the cutoff wheel up here, and we'll get to it. Go throw that diamond plate on. I actually painted all 4 of them black already, just like the first one up there. Yeah, I just went and sprayed the front and the back both black. Not too exciting, not really worth filming in my opinion, but this is my first time driving it with like the ramp truck section part on it, so I don't even know if I can back it out here because it's kind of tight right there, and this thing's like the whole width of my driveway. I don't know. Let's see if it starts. I haven't started in a while either. It is carbureted, so it might take a second. Let's see. It's so dusty from all that Bondo. Let's see. I've got a little bit. There it goes. Alright, let's back her down. I had it backed it all the way down to the bottom of my yard, and it looks so small, like in comparison to when it was up at the top of my house and like it was in like a small little area, I guess. Because down here it's like next to all these other cars and stuff. I'm like, it's not so bad, but that's that diamond plate I was talking about. Yeah, I already painted it like I said. So I just gotta throw it on. I think I'm just gonna probably put like one bolt in each piece because I'm not really trying to do anything with it. I just wanna make sure everything lines up, and I wanna make sure these D-rings have a good spot. I'm guessing this is where I'm gonna do them in like, you know, one in each corner. But I'm thinking I'm gonna do 6. I bought 6 in total, so I'll have like one like midway maybe, or one right there, like maybe one on the back and then one on this beam right here. I don't know, we'll see, but I'm gonna throw these pieces of diamond plate on right now. Okay, so here's the 3 of them in place and one of them's not in place. The other one's supposed to go down there, but it's not too much of an incline. I can't put it in right now without it slipping down. But this thing's really coming together and it's really looking like a ramp truck. But yeah, I gotta pull it back up so I can go ahead and bolt everything down. I'm getting all these things to sit up here pretty nicely just with some self-tappers holding them in. It's crazy, it's an actual ramp truck, huh? But I'm having a notch right here out. See this? On both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. I just went ahead and marked it right now. But I gotta do it on both sides so it has a place for the ramp to slide into because it's like such a tight fit right now. It's like super, honestly these fit like so perfectly, like the gaps on them are insane. You guys can tell, but they're like tight gaps. Ramps are split out though, might be a little too far over, I don't know. But let's see if we can get a vehicle up here. There you go, the first vehicle ever on the ramp truck. Looks funny because it's under the car cover too, but let's get a better look at it. Ramp truck with the first rig in it. I'm so excited. Worked flawlessly. My suspension's pretty compressed right now, but there's no air in the airbags. So here's the D-rings I picked up from Harbor Freight. They're like $6 a piece. And here's the placement for them. I'm gonna do one in that corner, one in that corner. We're in the very back, by the way. One, you know, next panel up 4 feet, so I can grab onto that wheel, hopefully, of whatever vehicle it is. And then one right up here. I'm contemplating whether I should put one here and here, just for other random like loads and stuff, but I don't know if it's gonna be necessary or not. But I'm gonna have to cut out this diamond plate so I can weld this piece on. So more cutting and grinding. Pretty sick of cutting and grinding, but I guess it just comes with the whole thing, you know. Here's the ones on this side going all the way up. Also, I really want to plumb in my airlines for my airbags. I don't know if I ever showed you those, but I got new airlines made for my airbags, and so I want to pump those up because with the car on this thing, it is pretty compressed, the suspension, so it would be nice. Because look at the tire, it's like tucking. So I went ahead and just pulled off this wheel. These big 30mm lug nuts are huge. You can get a better look at the airbag right here. Appears to be in pretty good shape. Obviously there's no air in it though. So here are some new lines I got made by, I think his name was the Hose Guy in Ontario. It was 25 bucks for 2 lines. Here's the old ones that on accident I cut through. So I'm gonna go ahead and route these up right now and let's try to get some air pressure in these things. All right, I'm laying under the ramp truck right now and I just ran these lines. There's one airbag and the other one's right there. Kind of a pain to tighten them up, but they are tight.
Been around the world and found that only stupid people are breeding. The cretins cloning and feeding. And I don't even own a TV. Put me in the hospital for nerves and then they had to...
So with the airbags pumped up, they're both at around 50-ish right now because they're leaking a little bit from one fitting. I didn't put any sealant on. It sits way higher like this, like way higher. So the airbags made just enough of a difference. And it's crazy. Let's go check what they're at right now. I think they're around 50.
You told them all I was crazy.
This one's around 75. You can see that. And the other one is around 55. So they're just leaking from right here in this fittings because I didn't put any PTF tape or whatever it's called, or any sealant. And so I'm gonna get to that later, but I just gotta run that through this right here, and so I didn't wanna put any sealant on it and have to take it apart later. But I'm glad these airbags made enough of a difference to the ramp truck to where it can support the vehicle that is on there. I'm gonna go ahead and slide the ramps away here, Ali. You can film for me. You can still access the ramps, not jammed in there. Cool. Well, that worked out nicely. After thinking about it for a while, I think I am just gonna run these D-rings all the way down, so every 4 feet. So that means there would be 10 total on this rig, but I honestly think that's best because, like, what if I'm hauling something that's not a car, for example, and I need rings right here in the middle? Because these are the ones that I'm basically adding in, these ones right here, all 4. So I went ahead and got some soapstone and marked these out. I'm gonna go ahead and cut them all out and weld these guys into place, take the diamond plate back off, and work on the next thing.
I wanna publish scenes and rage against machines. I wanna pierce my tongue, it doesn't hurt, it feels fine. The truth is sublime. I like to turn on.
So I went ahead and weld prepped all the areas, so right here, 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 and there, and there. And I also weld prepped all these, so I ground them all down on the backs and on the fronts where I'm gonna weld. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tacking them into place. Just gonna sit like that. That's enough room for this to go back and forth, so it's gonna be perfect. So let's weld these. All of the hooks are welded on. So yeah, 10 hooks just got welded on. I went ahead and unbolted these because I had them temporarily bolted down. But check out what I picked up at a yard sale today. I was driving by this yard sale and I decided to stop. This was $2. I just plugged it in and it works. It's magnetic. So when I stop, I can throw it up there if I put a cord on it or whatever. But for $2, I couldn't pass it up. Right now I got to take all these panels back off, figure out some wiring, cap some ends, cap some of the frame rail stuff, and hopefully sand it, get it painted soon. I don't know. But right now I'm welding on some end caps. I just made these out of some scrap diamond plate that I cut out when I was cutting out the area for these. So yeah, just get some diamond plate, cut it to roughly the same shape. Let's see, it's right there. And I'm gonna weld it on. I got 4 of them cut out, so I should be able to like cover all of them.
Just say you never met me. I'm running underground with the most to get home.
So this end cap came out pretty dialed. Here's a better look at it if it'll focus. Flush on the side. I don't want to touch it because it's hot, but looks sick. So now I just got 3 more of those to do.
Hear the voices in my head, I swear to God, it sounds like they're snoring. What if you're bored, then you're boring?
With all these caps welded on into place, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the taillight brackets. So I ordered these brackets off of Amazon. I believe they were like 20, no, they weren't even that. I think they were $11 for 2 or something like that. I got 4 of them. Here's what they look like without them, you know, weld prepped. Pretty nice, honestly, quality wise. And I'll show you where I'm gonna mount them. I'm gonna mount 2. You know, one right here. And right there. And then in the very, very back. I'm also gonna be making 2 brackets for some smaller lights that I have. These are all LED, by the way, and they are waterproof. And then one right there. Boom. And then on the other side too. Yeah, just gonna go ahead and melt these on real quick.
I'm not sick, but I'm not well. And I'm so high, 'cause I'm in hell.
So here's the finished look on those. I gotta round off that edge a little bit more right there. But other than that, came out pretty good. And for the second one I'm about to weld on, it's already all prepped and I rounded off that edge. So it's gonna be ready to go as soon as it's on. Here's a template I just drew up and cut out of cardboard. So it's gonna go about right there. And it's pretty much the same exact shape as these ones right there. I use that as a template actually to make these ones. And so yeah, make 2 of these, one for right there and then one for over there. You should be good. And here both of them are all cut out and ready to weld on. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't been working on the bed too much at all. I don't know what got into me, but all of a sudden I started messing with the wiring. And I actually fixed the radio. So the radio works now, or the CD player, tape player thing works now. It was a grounding issue with that guy, and I got it fired back up, and it works great, and the speakers work and all that, so that's awesome. Yeah, so I was working on like tail lights and blinkers and all that kind of wiring, and there's so much leftover wiring from the RV that I was just tracking down random wires back to the alternator and wherever and cutting them and stuff. But I'll show you just some wires that I'm down to right now. Here is, I think, 5 wires. Yeah, there's 5 wires right here. I'm pretty sure these are all signals and brake lights and stuff like that. I don't know what this big red one is for. We gotta trace that one back, probably cut it. This brown right here is for my fuel gauge indicator. And then I got wires coming up right there, which leads to right here. These are all turn signals and fuel gauge stuff. There's some more wiring. Here, I checked all these and marked them. So yeah, fuel gauge. Here's a ground. 12 volt constant. Left plus brake light. Right plus brake light. And then tail lights and running lights. Okay, yeah, but went ahead and marked everything. And it's funny because, like, I mean, obviously, you know, with the RV you have all kinds of other stuff charging and plugged in. So I found like lines that are going to the generator, so I'll show you those ones. These guys right there, I tracked those all the way underneath, all the way, like, had to take off my glove box and all that, and I actually led it right here. And whoever set up the generator wiring is 2 generator, they wrote it out for me, so I know. But yeah, I had to find this and eliminated all this wiring. There's all these switches and plugs that did nothing. Lights and things that I've deleted, but I'm just trying to get my tail lights and all that stuff working. I got distracted doing this. I also found a vacuum leak right, where is it? I see it on camera? Oh yeah, it's right there. There's a little vacuum cap that was broken. I went ahead and fired it up and I put my finger over this and it actually idled a lot better than it has been idling. So yeah, that was a fat vacuum leak right here. I don't know if you guys seen one of these kind of vans before. The motor's right there in the middle. Fiberglass cover to cover it up, but it's pretty trippy. Makes it pretty easy to work on. I'd say actually easier than like a normal car. I just don't know how you'd like swap another motor in here if you ever had to. Just pulled this thing out and I rinsed it off and I hit it with some cleaner, and then I sanded it down with some 150 grit. It's not perfect and there's still a few areas that I need to go back and clean up a little bit, but I'm tired of doing that, so I'm gonna go ahead and start painting it. This is like 11 cans or 12 cans of spray paint, gloss black. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm gonna go ahead and start laying it on.
I know you have to go, so why won't you take me with you? Oh, I will wait as long as it will take me to get back to you. I will wait as long.
Here it is, all black. You guys can see it. Looks really nice, all one color. And I blacked out under that area right there before that was painted to match the cab, and it didn't look that good, honestly. Now with it being blacked out and that body line right there, 100 times better. So Yeah, I'm really excited with the way it came out, all black. I just put it on thick everywhere, as thick as I could put it. Wow, look at the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and pop some lights in it.
Take me to get back to you.
Looks pretty sweet. I'm also gonna be running some trailer wiring right here, and I'm gonna have those removable magnetic lights that I'm also gonna set up when I tow. But that looks pretty complete back here. Looks pretty good. Oh my gosh, I forgot how long it takes to solder, wire, and, you know, put heat shrink and do that whole deal of just wiring. Wiring takes forever running and stuff. But anyways, here's the finished look of the back. All the blinkers and brake lights and all that stuff work, and my license plate light works. And so we are ready to rock back here. Those ones are like ran, but they're not hardwired in yet. I haven't soldered them in yet. But yeah, it looks pretty gnarly. Pretty stoked. A lot of progress in today's video, so I'm stoked on that as well. If you guys like Fortnite, or you guys like watching people play Fortnite, check out my buddy Wafty. He streams like Monday through Friday. I don't know, I'll put it up on the stream, but he streams and he's super entertaining to watch. He has a 2005 Mazda Speed Miata, so you can talk to him about that if you want to go and check out his chat. I'd greatly appreciate it. But that's going to be it for today's video. If you like today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more car content. Thank you so much for watching.